Namaskar. India has started its journey towards implementation of the National Digital Health Mission, which is envisaged to transform the digital health and wellness services in the country. The use and scale up of digital health solutions can revolutionize how citizens achieve higher standards of health and access services to promote and protect their health and well being. In this video, we will go through the various facets of the mission. But first, let us understand what is digital health. WHO defines e-health as the cost-effective and secure use of information and communication technologies in support of health and health-related fields. Digital health is a broad umbrella term encompassing e-health as well as developing areas such as the use of advanced computer sciences like big data and artificial intelligence. In simpler terms, digital health is use of digital technologies to improve healthcare. This upcoming sector is an intersection of two diverse fields, health and IT. WHO has recommended that digital health should be an integral part of all health priorities. It can radically change health outcomes and also improve the efficiency and cost effectiveness of care, allowing for new business models in the delivery of services. Let us now walk through some examples of digital health solutions. Patients can search for healthcare facilities, providers, and services online. They can consult with their doctors through telemedicine. They can further order lab tests or medicines online and get them done or delivered all within the comforts of their home. The world of digital health offers many more solutions to transform the way healthcare is delivered to citizens. While this field is evolving in the government and private sector for quite some time now, the last few steps by the government in India's journey were guided by some key documents. The National Health Policy was released in 2017 and outlines specific goals for digital technologies, such as development of registries, establishment of federated architecture, following and setting up of data standards, and electronic health records. The National Health Stack, which was released in 2018, further defines the components of digital health, including electronic registries, claims and coverage platforms, federated personal health record framework, health analytics platforms, etc. The National Digital Health Blueprint was released in 2019 and discusses these implementation guidelines in detail, particularly the layered framework relating to digital health infrastructure, details of the building blocks, standards and regulations, and institutional framework for the implementation. The National Digital Health Mission, whose pilot was launched on 15th August 2020 by the Honorable Prime Minister of India from the ramparts of the Red Fort, is guided by these documents and extensive learnings during implementation of pilot phase of the mission. The implementation is guided by certain principles on the technology side. We have a basic principle of single source of truth for all types of data, such as a registry of doctors, your own health record, etc. Then the architecture is federated, which means that the data will continue to reside where it is residing right now, and we will be providing only connectivity and interoperability through open APIs. Therefore, because of these open APIs, there will be no requirement of bringing the data together, and there will be no requirement of centralized repository of health records. The implementation will be as per the India Enterprise Architecture Framework of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. On the policy side, the privacy and security will be inbuilt in the design. We encourage the principle of inclusivity, that is, those without digital literacy and those with limited connectivity will also be integrated by using special solutions. The participation in the national digital health ecosystem shall be voluntary, depending on the decision of the patient and the healthcare provider. The implementation will be focused on wellness rather than only treatment. India has rapidly developed its digital connectivity in the last few years. we have succeeded in expanding connectivity to nearly 96% of our villages. We have more than 117 crore wireless subscribers, and on an average, each person is using 12 GB mobile data per month. And India collectively is using 8 billion GB mobile data per month, which is the highest in the world. On top of this infrastructure, what makes us uniquely positioned to launch NDHM nationwide are digital public goods, such as 129 crore unique Aadhaar digital IDs. We already have examples of UPI and digital locker and their successful use. The success of recent digital health initiatives such as CoWIN and Arogya Setu has shown that we are ready to launch NDHM nationally in a smooth manner. The proposed system of NDHM is platform agnostic. That is, you or your doctor or lab need not be on the same platform to get connected with each other, as all platforms will be connected by NDHM's open network. Your longitudinal health record can be created by accessing records from different IT systems across various healthcare providers. So how does it work? Let us see this in a simplified schematic diagram. On the bottom, you can see JAM and other public digital goods. The JAM trinity stands for Jandhan, Aadhaar, and mobile. There are also other public digital goods such as e-rupee voucher, e-sign, DigiLocker, and consent artifact. On these horizontal systems, any specialized system such as National Digital Health Ecosystem can function. The next layer is of health data exchange, and it consists of various building blocks such as digital registries. We can see multiple digital registries here. A digital registry of health ID, which is the registry of individuals. There are also registries of healthcare professionals, health facilities, etc. These registries shall serve as a single source of truth for all the stakeholders. Similarly, we will have an electronic health information exchange and the electronic consent manager. We have also defined the standards for electronic health records, and similarly, we'll define standards for health claims. On top of this digital public health infrastructure, digital health players will be able to exchange information using open APIs for various digital health services such as telemedicine, searching for labs or local pharmacies or any other service, and analytics such as discovering bed availability and hospital facilities, among others. On top of these APIs, we can have numerous applications developed by government and private sector players. So we can have our various telemedicine platforms, various hospital information management systems, all using open API standards and enabling an open and interoperable network. Thus, we will be providing a network of hospitals, which may be public and private, laboratories, and doctors of various systems of medicines and specializations and other healthcare service providers, such as ambulance providers and health tech companies in this digital world. Using this unified health interface, anybody shall be able to discover hospitals, laboratories, pharmacies, or a particular medicine. They should be able to book a physical appointment or avail teleconsultation services or ambulance or home collection services and get themselves investigated, treated, and receive medicines. To explain the meaning of interoperable open network, which won't allow monopolies to be created, let us see the following two scenarios. On the left-hand side, you can see three different platforms. There is a platform for a teleconsultation, for online pharmacy, and for lab services. All of these have their own set of doctors or pharmacies or laboratories, which are verified by these platform operators or solution providers. This is not done by the government, and they have their own set of patients who must use only their particular platform to avail these services. But what we intend to provide is an open platform using open protocols. Through NDHM, a patient using any platform, say application 1 or application 2 or application 3, should be able to get connected to a doctor or a lab which may again be using any other platform or app of any other company. This is like emails or mobile calls. You can send your email from Gmail to Hotmail or make phone calls from a BSNL number to an MTNL number. Or taking a more recent example, you can use UPI for making payments from one application to a user of another UPI application. This interoperability will be facilitated through open and interoperable APIs. The overall architecture of the ecosystem will include core building blocks, which will be developed, owned, and managed by the government. These are Health ID, Healthcare Professionals Registry, Health Facility Registry, etc. These building blocks will all be connected to a common or reference applications, which will be developed by government or private players. We expect to see innovations for health services delivery and user experience due to competitive market forces. We shall have a health records app, which will compile health records of a person from multiple sources. We shall have different hospital management information systems linked with these building blocks, and which will provide one-stop solutions for hospitals to create health records. We shall also have telemedicine apps. To illustrate the architecture even further, we can see how different building blocks will operate with each other. On the left-hand side, you see health information providers. That is, these are the entities which will provide the information related to your health. For example, it can be a vaccination record created or generated by a vaccination center. It can be a pathology report generated by a lab, or it can be a prescription generated by a doctor. On the right-hand side, you can see health information users. That is, whenever anyone wants to access the records generated by health information providers, say another doctor, he can identify himself using Healthcare Professionals Registry, seeking consent through this electronic consent manager, and view the data through this electronic health information exchange. Once you provide your consent using Health ID, then the doctor will be in a position to see your health record. All this happens in a fraction of a second. It is important to note that the whole mechanism has been designed upon consent. Unified Health Interface offers various advantages to different stakeholders. Citizens shall be able to access healthcare in a much easier way, or they can have a choice of providers for seeking health services at a competitive price. And very importantly, the total control over the data will be with the patients. Doctors and hospitals will be able to make themselves available on the digital platform, which will allow the fast ramp up of their practice. They can get connected with patients which may not be in their immediate vicinity. They shall be able to access longitudinal health records of the patients after their consent, and ease of doing business shall also be improved tremendously with the features like CME points, renewal of registration, and obtaining and renewing various permissions for doctors and hospitals. Pharmacies and diagnostic laboratories, particularly small pharmacies and labs in the neighborhood, will be able to make themselves available on the digital platform, which would improve their business. Last but not the least, health tech companies and startups will be easily discoverable. And very importantly, they won't be required to actually verify the doctors and hospitals which they want to onboard, as that responsibility has been taken up by the government in the form of maintenance of Healthcare Professionals Registry and Health Facility Registry. They can focus on the innovation and leverage the common digital platform to improve healthcare service delivery. Having talked about the NDHM stack and architecture, let us see the use case scenario of NDHM. Imagine a diabetic villager develops a swelling on his leg and goes to his local general practitioner. So he searches online and finds a kidney specialist in a distant city. He consults him virtually, seeks prescription and tests, and pays through UPI. He further discovers the laboratory and conducts his tests as suggested by the specialist and shares the lab reports with his city-based specialist, who in turn gives the prescription. He further goes on to do online search for his local pharmacy and gets his medicines home delivered. The follow-up is periodically done with the doctor through telemedicine platform, and in the process, his longitudinal health records, having records from all the hospitals, labs, and pharmacies, are compiled at one place for future reference. To sum up, if we think about the advantages accruing to the whole ecosystem, the patient will be able to compile his or her longitudinal health records, which doctors can access easily. Implementation of public health programs will be streamlined and resources for various schemes can be used more efficiently and programs can be dovetailed for effective implementation. Telemedicine and various other online services will improve the access to healthcare. Monitoring of epidemiological indicators will be easy with almost real-time updates. The data, that is the anonymized and aggregated data generated, will facilitate research and development. And companies can focus on innovation to address the various healthcare problems. So this is the overall concept of NDHM. To reiterate, NDHM is focused on digitizing, supporting, and strengthening existing digital health ecosystem of the country. It will create an interoperable digital platform to bring together diverse stakeholders such as citizens, healthcare providers, hospitals, pharmacies, labs, health tech startups, etc. This will lead to a creation of a state-of-the-art network of digital health solutions. NDHM, while strengthening the health system, ensures security, confidentiality, and privacy of health-related personal information. We look forward to your participation in NDHM. NDHM shall also continue to engage with the stakeholders and shall remain open for feedback and suggestions. Should you have any inputs, do write to us at ndhm@nha.gov.in.